What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran. And we're going back to another version of Out of My Mind, a track from Midazoland, 1997. A number of you will know that when I reacted to the Perfecto mix, I was greatly impressed, and as not only I noticed, but as a number of people commented, it was seriously like 2 or 3 people mentioned that they felt like that was sort of Duran kind of going in a territory where Depeche Mode were sort of known for going, or were themselves going in the mid-90s. So I very much agreed with that, and I felt that during the listen, although again Simon's voice very different from Gon's voice, so it was a different flavor, but again it felt like there was sort of, it was right on the border of sounding like some Depeche Mode tracks that I know and love. So as a big Depeche Mode fan, the idea of a band that I've loved for a long time and then a band that I've come to love more recently, sort of being in this sort of Venn diagram, at least for 1 or 2 songs, was very enjoyable to me. So we're going to listen to the instrumental version of that, meaning it will perhaps, feel even more like that to me, in the sense that without Simon Le Bon's voice to sort of frame it, properly as a Duran tune, I imagine my brain will again hear that connection maybe even more strongly. But the reality is, again, it's a Duran tune, so yeah, I really love this version, and I'm intrigued to hear it in an instrumental, which, I mentioned before, a really good instrumental tune will always catch my ear. It's probably why I've come to like scores and soundtrack from shows and movies so much, as well as ambient music and classical music and so on. There's something about the sort of free, unlimited possibility of emotion, impact, and interpretation for a song that is not restricted by any words. Now, of course, words can be expressive, words can convey a great deal, even simple phrases. But again, your brain, if a piece of music has no words, and obviously sometimes an instrumental will have it was composed around a certain idea or a historical event. There can be context that, the composer is trying to guide you toward. But generally speaking, when you have an instrumental tune, your brain is free to sort of interpret it as it will, and to sort of make it its own, or find an emotional space that it fits for the way that you feel it. So yeah, I do enjoy instrumental tunes a great deal, so I'm excited to hear this one. Let's get it. This is Duran Duran, Out of My Mind, the Perfecto instrumental, a B-side from the Out of My Mind single from the 1997 album Midazoland. Unsettling workshop. That growling bass. Certain types of acid work, it just sounds so futuristic, which is, I think, way back when, why I found that type of sound so interesting. It's like AI talking to another AI. brilliant. Like, first of all, I think without Simon's just, unique and very fantastic voice, which often, as I listen to a Duran song for the first time, I'll find myself sort of like keying in on his vocals. Sometimes not even so much what he's singing, just the vocals. But without them there, I think I appreciated the sonics of this tune even more on this journey than I did listen to the sort of normal Perfecto mix. And secondarily, the reason I was sort of chuckling at the end, and I apologize to all my very awesome Depeche Mode friends out there, but yeah, it's like, look, Ultra is one of my favorite albums from Depeche. This came out the same year as Medazoland. One of my favorite tunes, if not my absolute favorite tune on that album, is It's No Good. I just love the sort of like grindy, sort of dangerous sound to it. It gets even a little edgier in the like last maybe third of it, last like minute and a half. And it's, psychologically, it's a sort of like dangerous song. It sounds like it's, right on the edge of him like presuming far too much and, almost, maybe being like a stalker. It's like not clear. People take it different ways, which happens a lot, and not only with Depeche songs, but as I've come to learn with Duran songs. Nevertheless, the point is, I absolutely love It's No Good, and it's probably my favorite track on Ultra. I'm not sure It's No Good is as good as what I just heard, which, again, as someone who's loved Depeche Mode for my whole life, it feels almost heretical, if not blasphemous, to say that. But honestly, that's just a brilliant tune from top to bottom. Every little detail, those like, acid cascades, the like grinding, sort of heavy, like slightly dangerous bass, which again, that part in particular, it reminds me of It's No Good to a certain extent. But yeah, it's just a brilliant tune. I absolutely love it, which once again, I shouldn't even get in the habit of comparing things, but I was thinking that as it ended, that like, man, like, I love Ultra, I love It's No Good. Yeah, this is a similar sort of tune. It's probably on a slightly higher level, so again, maybe it's blasphemous, but once again, I just really, really love that track, and I perhaps enjoyed it even more kind of with all those elements I just described isolated. And again, that's not a knock on Simon or his vocals by any means. But yeah, it does make me wonder why the Perfecto mix was not chosen to be on the album. It does seem, it's a missed opportunity. Don't get me wrong, I like the regular version, but yeah, it's an interesting thing because I think the Perfecto mix is just, fantastic. So anyway, let me know what you think of that version. I will see you next time. Peace.